Major update, everybody. I'll give it that minute to let people log on. It's unbelievable what our Prime Minister will try to sneak past, what he'll do. I knew it, I suspected it, but you have to wait. Unfortunately, I don't speak French, so I always have to rely on others. Now, Russian academia got back to me very quickly, but I knew if I published anything to any of you in that regard, well, people throw the book at you, right? Russia bad, Russia bad. So I waited, and lo and behold, CTV gets the job done. They have all the French translated from Justin Trudeau's live, where, of course, as I stated, Canadians, if you don't speak French, you missed it. You missed it today. The majority of Canadians completely missed Justin Trudeau's bullshit. And we're going to get into... Sorry, y'all, I didn't turn off notifications. Wish I had. But here we go. So, the correlation between Ukraine, NATO, as Canada released in English today, Justin Trudeau says Operation Unify. What is Operation Unify? Operation Unify is old. It's many years old. It is the NATO buildup of forces in Ukraine, stationing weapons against Russia. When did this happen in history? 60 years ago today, we saw this exact same thing play out in the Cuba Missile Crisis. What happened? USA, through NATO, its old instrument, wished to place missiles in Turkey and another country formerly known. Those two countries put USA in range of firing missiles upon Russia. Russia responded by, okay, we shall place missiles in Cuba. For all those who don't know, JFK tried to invade Cuba to take Cuba from Castro and got his butt kicked. They did that through the CIA. They got their butt kicked. They all got apprehended. It was an embarrassment to the United States of America. Ranked one of the worst military exercises, contrary to what people want to believe about John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Democrats like to believe in a history. Well, I'm not a Democrat. I'm a factual historian. And I can tell you, they failed miserably. JFK did a horrible exercise with the CIA. They all got caught. They got whipped. And so, of course, Russia, angry, went to station missiles in Cuba. They were locked for more than a month and 4 days. Russia operating in a defensive manner as, again, a P5 member against P5 allies. And guess what happened, everybody? USA signed a deal with Russia, removed all missiles from those territories, putting USA in range of firing upon Russia. In exchange, Russia left Cuba. It was the closest we ever came to World War III. Canadians, we are there again today. And your filthy autocrat Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, lies to all Francophones today. Today live, it was not replayed in English. It wasn't even translated to English for a mass amount of the Anglophone population of Canada. And what he says is Russian aggression is why Canada is forced to go toe-to-toe, and it's likely to escalate into full-blown conflict. That's what he told French Canadians today, live. Told by Russia top academics, one of which fluently speaks 27 languages, and if you guess 2 of those being French and English, you'd be correct. This is what was said, that's what went through, and I couldn't say anything until CTV actually published that. They translated it, published this very story moments ago. Russia shares that too. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the history. NATO has been doing this for many years in the territory of Ukraine, using it like Russia used Cuba to defend themselves. Now NATO is doing that as the aggressor, like JFK did with Turkey and another. We all know in academia where this is going. The problem is, Canadians, where does this put Canada with the P5 UNSC ultimate authority, highest authority in the entire world, with authorities outside of the range of Canada, a pathetic nation? Where does that put all of us when this is resolved? And it will be dramatic, just like Cuba, but I can guarantee you the best minds in the United States are already saying this ain't going to escalate. Joe Biden's going to have to walk away, which means he's going to have to pull NATO out. Macron is not going to take on Russia. UK is not going to take on Russia. USA is not going to give up their ultimate authority just to dismantle Russia for the benefit of UK and France, an old ideology that, should they get that power back with the absolute destruction of the UNSC P5, giving them authority to reign their terror, they will. That's what they want. They want USA to do it. USA is going to back out of this, make a deal with Russia. Russia will make a deal. Somebody has to educate them. And that's going to be me. It's going to bring back Pulitzer Prize winning authors and media personalities, real journalists of the past, one of which I said was 77 years old, alive and well today, who covered Watergate, who also covered JFK and the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's time to get the real story in its full truth. And everybody, you're going to watch this happen, but what is to come of the UN state, the rogue NWO UN state called Canada? If USA makes a deal like they did with the Cuban Missile Crisis, it's virtually identical, and it's identical 60 years later. Nothing in the world of the UNSC P5 doesn't have a historical date, historical reference, historical or annual consequences, or great achievements. That's reality, folks. Never mess around with the P5 as a UN state, let alone a UN state that doesn't sit on the UNSC P5 Council. It is Canada that is flubbered. Liberals and conservatives flubber every time. We're one of the most stupid nations in the entire world because we run on full autocracy. The delusion of running an NWO, the ultimate authority and power of your Canadian politicians, who would love nothing better than to be a living, breathing Ukraine with tremendous more capability in human rights violations to the likes of a Nazi Germany. And they would go there. Your filthy autocratic politicians would go there. Look how bad Justin Trudeau is. Vaccine mixing, massive corruption with pharmaceuticals, enriching himself and his friends, massive corruption with foreign interests, raising foreign funded services in our public sector, foreign funded services at our great expense, claiming GDP that's not real, credible, or verifiable. In fact, it's the opposite. A huge rape, rob of the people of Canada, and absolutely the First Peoples of Canada. This history of Canada has always been there. Liberals, Conservatives, NDP, it won't matter, Bloc, Green, Maxime Bernier's People Party, they will all do it. If given the elected podium, they will all do it. This is the flaw of Canada. You're all about to see exactly what I say come to light, fruition. Watch over the months to come. Here's the date for you. My birthday, February 16th. Coming. Just watch. In the days leading up to and the days following it. Watch what happens. Incredible. Incredible. I like the UNSCP5. I like their historical dates. And I am going to do it too. Thanks all. Share the video. Be a part of something real. Real. Sometimes, once in a while, I land heavy blows. I truly believe this is going to be one of those times. Join me on it. It's epic. It's going to be incredible. Be a part of something that moves mountains. Every once in a while, 90% of the time, I get put to the mat. But every now and then, when I get up, I turn around, I land that heavy blow, that out of nowhere blow. And that comes from hard work, determination, and grit. And a lot of you helping, participating, staying the course. The little people can get things done. It's very, very hard inside Canada, but not so hard on the world stage, not so hard in the UNSCP5 if you know what you're doing. And we're getting there. We're going to get the job done. This is one of those times. Don't blink, guys. It's going to be quite the journey. It's going to get hairy. It's going to get scary. But we have to log all of Justin Trudeau, Aaron O'Toole, and Jagmeet Singh's corruption all the way through. You need to know the consequences that come from the actions of your filthy, unacceptable, and sheer genocidal maniac politicians of their divine first class, that they would consider themselves gods over you, the serfs and peasants. These imbeciles, these lowlifes, these degenerates, these people who think they're better than you. They couldn't run a business if their life depended on it. They live on the tit of the taxpayer. The ultimate in socialists, with absolute full access to the best of capitalism at all of your expenses. Most and more so the First Peoples. But let's be real, being a serf is not any kind of winning strategy as a third-class Canadian. Thanks, that's my video. Share, share, share. Watch as it all comes to fruition. Let's just see the mountain moved. Thank you, that's my video. Stay the course, stay faithful, stay hopeful, because you know what? We can get it done. Have faith, have belief. It's okay to pray, it's okay. I'm not of God, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus. That's just me. I like the idea of the Creator. Go for it, everybody. Do it. We're going to get this done. Bye now.